What's happening around the world
and what's happening here at home. A very good evening. You're watching Primetime News on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I am Rochelle Kumodra.
And I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight. Seven new ambassadors and high commissioners meet the president. Colonne appointed to India. Jayant Jayasuriya to the United Nations and Senadira to the United Kingdom. What happened to Ranil's opposition alliance?
ඊතන විශේෂ තීන්දුවක් ගත්තයි කියලා නම් මට වාර්තා වුණේ නැහැ.
මන් දන්නේ නැහැ. මං ගියේ නැහනේ.
Is the SLPP in agreement with the opposition alliance?
මම විශ්වාස කරනවා මට තියෙන ප්‍රධාන වක්කීම තමයි වමේ දේශපාලන කඳවුර එකතු කරන.
ජනතා මතයට ගරු කළ අවශ්‍ය දේ කරනවා මිසක් අපි පක්ෂයක් හැටියට මේ සන්දානගත වෙලා බලය පිහිටවන්න එකඟ වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Hallolu was summoned to CID over false statements about the president. Trump concludes Qatar visit with $1.2 trillion investment deals. Agreement to purchase 210 Boeing aircraft. Starting off with news here at home, President Anura Kumara Dissanayake met with newly appointed ambassadors and high commissioners at the presidential office today. President Dissanayake emphasized the importance of conveying the message of Sri Lanka's political transformation to the international community. He also highlighted the responsibility of the diplomats to elevate Sri Lanka's image on the global stage. Sri Lanka made several new diplomatic appointments. Maheshini Colonne has been appointed as the High Commissioner to the Republic of India. Retired Rear Admiral Fred Semiratne will serve as the High Commissioner to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. SDNU Senadira has been named the High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. Jayant Chandrasiri Jayasuriya will take on the role of Permanent Representative to the United Nations in New York. Professor Arusha Kure has been appointed as the ambassador to the United Arab Emirates. Mahinda Ratnayaka will serve as the ambassador to the Republic of Cuba. Professor Janak Kumar Singh has been named the ambassador to Japan. This morning, the new ambassadors met with President Anura Kumar Dissanayake before their departure from the country. During the meeting, President Dissanayake acknowledged that certain incidents in Sri Lanka have caused difficulties for ambassadors in the past. He assured that the current government is committed to ensuring that the dignity of ambassadors is upheld and that no actions will be taken to undermine their honor. The president emphasized that the government will stand by the ambassadors at all times. President Dissanayake instructed the ambassadors to prioritize providing services to Sri Lankans abroad with special attention and to act fairly without any discrimination. He further stated that attracting direct foreign investment and tourists is a key responsibility of the ambassadors in order to revive the country's economy. The government is prepared to offer the necessary support to achieve this goal.
Despite plans for opposition party secretaries to meet today and finalize nominations for the local government bodies where the National People's Power does not hold authority, this did not occur. Yesterday, a meeting of opposition parties was convened under the leadership of former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, leader of the United National Party, without the participation of opposition leader Sajith Premadasa. The following individuals attended the meeting convened at Ranil Wickremesinghe's political office on Flower Road, Colombo. Nalin Bandara from the Samki Janabalawegaya, former Speaker Mahindayappa Abeyewardena, Namal Rajapaksa, National Organizer of the Podujana Peramuna, Nimal Suripala De Silva and Dupinda Dissanayake from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Anru Priyadashana Yapa from the Podujana Eksa Peramuna, Palani Digambaram, leader of the National Union of Workers, Manu Ganesan, leader of the Democratic People's Front, Jeevan Thondaman, General Secretary of the Ceylon Workers Congress, Udaya Gammapila, leader of the Pivitru Helorumaya, Asanka Navaratna, Sugishwara Bandara and Veerakumara Dissanayake from the New Democratic Front. Former MPs Pramita Bandara Tennakon, Premanath Sidolewata, Nimal Lansa and Mohammed Muzammil, Vajra Abeyewardena, Chairman of the United National Party, Talatatu Korala, General Secretary of the United National Party, Sagala Ratnayaka, National Organizer of the United National Party, former Minister Harin Fernando. At the conclusion of the meeting, the United National Party announced under Ranil Wickremesinghe's leadership, a decision was made to establish control over local government bodies where the National People's Power does not hold authority. Although the United National Party stated that Dilip Jayavira, leader of the Sarva Jana Balaya, participated in the meeting via telephone, Jayavira refuted this claim through a social media post last night. He clarified that he had informed Vajra Abeyewardena to correct the statement regarding his participation. Is the Samaki Jana Balawegya, led by opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, in agreement with the decisions made under Ranil Wickremesinghe's leadership? Attempts to inquire about this from Sajith Premadasa near the opposition leader's office in Colombo were unsuccessful. However, Newsfirst managed to get a response from Prasad Sirivardhana, the spokesperson for the opposition leader. Translation of the quote.
Before establishing the council, we need to appoint the members. That's the first step. Therefore, we will finalize the appointment of members within this week and then proceed to establish the council. We are currently in the process of selecting the members.
End of quote. Nalin Bandara, who represented the Samaki Jana Balawegya at yesterday's meeting, was scheduled to hold a press conference today to clarify the matter. Although the media unit of the Samaki Jana Balawegya had informed the media about the press conference scheduled for 10:30 am, Nalin Bandara did not attend. Instead, MP Mujibur Rahman attended.
පක්ෂයේ අනුදැනුම ඇතුව තමයි එතුමා සහභාගී. ඒතන විශේෂ තීන්දුවක් ගත්තයි කියලා නම් මට වාර්තා වුණේ නැහැ. ඉතින් පක්ෂයේ අනුදැනුම එතුමා තමයි එතුමා ගියේ.
Is the Samaki Jana Balawegya in agreement to work together with Ranil Wickremesinghe? Here is a response from the party's General Secretary. Translation of quote.
Whether it's with Ranil or any other party, we will make decisions as the opposition. It doesn't specifically relate to Ranil.
End of quote. Newsfirst also inquired about this matter from MP SM Marikar from the Samaki Jana Balawegya. Before the local government elections, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa made this assurance to the public.
Some news headlines today claim that I, Mahinda and Ranil are all coming together for discussions. These are false. We have no intention of joining forces with anyone. We firmly believe that the Samaki Jana Balawegya will achieve a remarkable victory in the upcoming local government elections.
Is this statement by the opposition leader still valid?
If other groups agree to give us power, we will involve them in this process. That's all. This isn't about catching thieves. It's about local government bodies.
MP Nama Rajapaksa, national organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, participated in the discussion led by Ranil Wickremesinghe. Does the Podujana Peramuna agree with the decision to establish control over local government bodies under Wickremesinghe's leadership?
Ranil Wickremesinghe is a former president of this country. When he calls for a discussion, we have a responsibility to express our party's views and share our opinions with the group. Clearly, we stated that in the coming period, we will make our political decisions in line with our policies and in accordance with public opinion in each council. We made this clear.
Ranil Wickremesinghe තාත්තත් එක්ක එකකතාවයක් නැති නිසානේ ඔබතුමාලා ඉවත් උනේ. දැන් එතුමාත් එක්ක ඉදිරි ගමනක් යනවා.
අපි පැහැදිලිව පක්ෂයක සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ.
We discuss with the party, not individuals. All these people represent the opposition, which means they represent the anti-government political camp. On another note, I believe my main responsibility is to unite the left-wing political camp.
වමේ දේශපාලන කඳවුර එකතු කරලා.
While the national organizer made this statement, the General Secretary of the SLPP expressed a different view.
අපි විශ්වාස කරන පක්ෂයක් හැටියට එවැනි සන්දානය
We believe that establishing control through such an alliance is not necessary as a party. We see this as merely the beginning of a broader goal to establish control over the country's governance in 2029. Therefore, at this stage, we will act in accordance with the public opinion of the local government bodies and respect their views rather than forming alliances to establish control.
මිසක් අපි පක්ෂයක් හැටියට මේ සන්දානගත වෙලා බලය පිහිටවන්න එකඟ වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
ඔය කියන විදිහට රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්මයා ප්‍රමුඛව දැන් යනෝනේ මල්පාරේ සාකච්ඡා එකෙන්දී වෙන්නේ මොකක්ද එතකොට මොකක්ද මේ කියන්නේ
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයටයි සමගි ජන බලවේගය
Parties that accept these policies, including the United National Party and the Samagi Jana Balavekya, can come together there. However, as a party, we have always stood with left-wing parties. We will move forward with our policies and we cannot join forces with individuals or parties holding opposing policies to establish control.
සඳහා එකතු වෙලා කටයුතු කරන්න අපිට හැකියාවක් නැහැ.
Meanwhile, several parties who participated in yesterday's discussion with Ranil Wickremesinghe are currently reconvening at a luxury hotel in Koldopitia, Colombo. Here are some of the attendees.
තව පොඩ්ඩක් හිටියොත් බලා ගත්ත හැකි. නෑ ඉන්න පොඩ්ඩක් ඉඳලා බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. පළාත් පිටවන්න ඕන. මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ අතර? පොඩ්ඩක්. හෙට කියන්නම්. එතනද අද ඉවර වෙලාද? අද දෙන්නේ
The Lawyers for Justice organization expressed their reaction today regarding the political alliances being discussed.
During the 2022 struggle, we witnessed the same scenario. The Rajapaksa regime, which was ousted by the people, is now being protected by Ranil Wickremesinghe. Nama Rajapaksa and his group are aware that they are close to being cornered. They know that the situation is set for them to face justice. We heard Andhra Kumara say that those who bankrupted the country now need a protector. Now all the snakes and mongooses are trying to climb onto the same platform. Why are those who never united for the people's issues now ready to forget all their problems and political differences for the sake of power and self-preservation? Sajith Premadas is likely to lose power in the opposition while Ranil Wickremesinghe is attempting to take control. The Rajapaksas are backing him because they know he is their only hope for protection at this moment.
MP Chandana Suryarachi of the National People's Power expressed his views on this matter today.
We can now see clearly the opposition, especially former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, is bankrupt. We saw this after the Aragalaya, particularly the economic bankruptcy of the country. Among those responsible, the SLPP and the Rajapaksa family hold a prominent position. Ranil Wickremesinghe has used his presidency to protect the Rajapaksa family's control, crimes, corruption and destruction. Society believes that Wickremesinghe took necessary steps to protect the Rajapaksa family's various interests. Today, the bankrupt opposition, including Ranil Wickremesinghe, is trying to protect certain groups amidst efforts to establish the rule of law and ensure justice for all. Therefore, we see that those involved in various crimes and corruption know who might be at risk when the law is enforced. Hence, they are trying to quickly disrupt and weaken the government's efforts to fight corruption and change public opinion. Another attempt to create chaos is the effort by Ranil Wickremesinghe, Nama Rajapaksa and their groups today.
Meanwhile, the president emphasized yesterday in Colombo that there will be no room for actions outside the people's mandate.
Now look at the various definitions given to the local government elections. Even the Madamulan division, led by a prominent leader, was defeated by us. The Borella South division, where a candidate competed to be the mayor of Colombo, was defeated by our little sister. Let the fragmented opposition come together. Even if they unite, they won't achieve the results they expect. Show us what they can do. They are divided, asking for votes separately and then trying to unite again. I ask, don't they feel ashamed? If they are ready to unite and vote tomorrow, we will hold any election tomorrow and work together. Can this be reversed? Who is going to reverse it? They think they can win the next presidency without winning a single council. They think they are like the JVP. It's pathetic. They are old, failed movements. We won the presidential election with 3%. Only the Janata Vimukti Peramuna can achieve this. We assure the people of this country that this ship will sail to victory no matter the storms or violence it faces. From June 2nd onwards, we will gain power in the villages. With 152 plus another 115, we have won 267 local councils for the first time in Sri Lanka. Establishing each winning council is our right under the people's mandate. If anyone wants to disrupt or hinder this, they should remember that the law provides ample space for such actions. If anyone acts against the people's mandate, we are ready to work with the constitution, the law and politics. Try it. If you can, let 3 or 4 months pass. That's all I have to say.
News First, with the people.
In news overseas, the White House announced that it has secured economic commitments worth at least $1.2 trillion from Qatar, including a historic deal for Boeing jetliners. During his first term, Trump himself accused Qatar of funding terror groups. US President Donald Trump received a grand welcome theoretically upon his arrival in Qatar. Reporters witnessed a lavish royal reception where his motorcade was flanked by horses, camels and Tesla Cybertrucks.
US President Donald Trump arrived in Qatar on Wednesday, where he was greeted by the country's ruling emir, Sheikh Tamim Al Thani, as he kicked off the second leg of his three-nation Middle East tour. President Donald Trump arrived to a spectacular reception that showcased the nation's rich traditions and modern advancements. Trump was given a royal escort that also included several Tesla Cybertrucks. US President Donald Trump and Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani agreed deals in Doha that the White House said were worth $1.2 trillion, including a massive order from Qatar Airways to buy Boeing aircraft. Qatar Airways will buy up to 210 Boeing 777X and 787 wide-body jets for $96 billion.
Now we will see the signing of the agreement of buying aircraft from Boeing.
The signings mark President Trump's intent to accelerate Qatar's defense investment in the US-Qatar security partnership, enhancing regional deterrence and benefiting the US industrial base. The defense deals lock in Qatar's procurement of state-of-the-art military equipment from two leading US defense companies. The announcement builds on yesterday's $600 billion investment commitment secured in Saudi Arabia. These new agreements and instruments aim to drive the growth of the US-Qatar bilateral commercial relationship, create thousands of well-paying jobs, and open new trade and investment opportunities for both countries over the coming decade and beyond.
We had a couple of hours of great meeting with the President, and we discussed many issues, our great bilateral relationship and also the situation in the region. Of course, I think after signing these documents, we are going to another level of relationship between Qatar and the United States. So I just wanted to thank you, Mr. President, again for this historic visit. Thank you very much, sir.
We discussed the world. We discussed Russia and Ukraine, where you've been a tremendous help in so many different ways. We certainly discussed Iran, where it's been really an interesting situation. I have a feeling it's going to work out. I think it's going to work. It's got to work out one way or the other. We know it's going to work out. But you were of great help and other things. But in particular, trade. The trade is the Kelly's telling me from Boeing that's the largest order of jets in the history of Boeing. That's pretty good. And that's 140. Was that a 140 or 160? Well, yeah, but you're right. It's actually 200, including the 40. So it's over $200 billion. But 160 in terms of the jets. That's fantastic. So that's a record, Kelly. And congratulations to Boeing. Get those planes out there. Get them out there. But I just want to thank you. We've been friends for a long time, long before politics. Well, for you it was politics. For me it wasn't, right? But we've been friends for a long time, and this is an outstanding man. He's a great man, and we're going to help each other. The United States is in a very strong position militarily. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. You're buying a lot of that equipment, actually, and I think we're going to see some of it in action tomorrow. At the we won't call it an air fair, but it's going to be sort of an air fair. We're going to be shown a display that's going to be incredible. They have the latest and the greatest of our planes and just about everything else. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun and very interesting. But I just want to thank you for the friendship, for the long-time friendship.
President Donald Trump also attended a lavish state dinner at the Lusail Palace in Doha, Qatar, alongside Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. Chairman and Managing Director of India's Reliance Industries Limited, Mukesh Ambani, was among those present. Following the dinner, President Trump, Qatar Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and FIFA President Gianni Infantino held a ceremony in Lusail Palace in Doha, Qatar, to celebrate the transfer of the World Cup from Qatar to the United States. The Qatari royal family plans to give the luxury Boeing 747-8, estimated to be worth $400 million to the US Department of Defense to be used as part of a fleet of planes dubbed Air Force One, the president's official mode of air travel. The current fleet includes two 747-200 jets which have been in use since 1990, along with several smaller and somewhat secretive 757s. The White House says that the new plane, which could require years and millions of dollars to refit and upgrade, will be transferred to Trump's presidential library at the end of his term.
Diplomatic tensions are rising once again as just days ago the focus was on Moscow's 80th anniversary Victory Day parade. However, all eyes have suddenly turned towards Istanbul, where direct talks between Russia and Ukraine, the first since the spring of 2022, is currently taking place.
On Sunday, Russian President Vladimir Putin offered to restart direct negotiations between Moscow and Kiev in order to find a lasting settlement that would address its root causes. Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky, who had previously ruled out any talks with Moscow, also expressed his willingness to travel to Istanbul. Late on Wednesday, the Kremlin said the delegation would include Presidential Advisor Vladimir Medinsky and Deputy Defense Minister Alexander Fomin, but Putin's name was not on the list. Kiev stated that the only official from Moscow that Zelensky would talk to is Putin. However, the Russian president has so far made no indication that he is planning to travel to the Turkish city. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has said he expects positive developments from expected Russia-Ukraine talks in Istanbul today. Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, confirmed to reporters in Doha that he would travel to Istanbul on Friday alongside US Secretary of State Marco Rubio to participate in discussions. However, US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have indicated that they would not attend peace talks themselves. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky had challenged Putin to attend the talks if he is not afraid, in an apparent contest to show Trump who wants peace more, Ukraine or Russia. While the Kiev leader was on his way to Turkey yesterday, a Ukrainian official said that he had said he would take part in the talks only if Putin attended. In his nightly video address on Wednesday, Zelensky said that Ukraine would decide on its steps for peace talks in Turkey once there was clarity on Putin's participation.
Сьогодні ми провели кілька нарад з командою щодо формату в Туреччині. Я очікую, хто прибуде від Росії, тоді буду визначати, які кроки варто робити Україні. Сигнали від них в медіа поки непереконливі. Але ми чуємо також, що президент Трамп розглядає можливість бути в Туреччині. Тож це може стати найбільш сильним аргументом.
Moving on to some news here at home, Tusita Hallolua, the former Director General of Public Relations for ex-President Ranil Wickremesinghe, was questioned for approximately 7 hours today by the Criminal Investigation Department regarding defamatory and false statements made about the President.
Tusita Hallolua arrived at the CID around 9:30 a.m. today. A group of lawyers from the National People's Power recently filed a complaint with the CID against Hallolua, alleging that the defamatory and false statements made about the president could severely damage his reputation and have significant adverse effects. The complaint requested an urgent investigation and appropriate legal action against Tusita Hallolua for making statements that could harm the president's reputation by using his name.
Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali has informed the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption that its request seeking time to present arguments regarding the anticipatory bail application filed by former Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage will be reviewed on the 19th of June. Alutgamage faces charges related to the importation of substandard Chinese organic fertilizer, which allegedly caused a loss to the government.
During the proceedings, the Bribery Commission said that it had not received notice related to the anticipatory bail application filed by Alutgamage. The Commission requested the court to allow them to present their arguments. Chief Magistrate Lakmali noted that the complainant party has not yet confirmed the details to the court and instructed them to do so by next Monday. The court will then hear the arguments regarding the request.
Meanwhile, a $930.8 million debt restructuring deal has been signed between Sri Lanka and India. The government of Sri Lanka has signed bilateral mandatory agreements with the Export-Import Bank of India, marking a significant milestone in the country's external debt restructuring process. This is pertaining to the line of credits and buyer's credit loan agreements under the external debt restructuring process of Sri Lanka. The agreements signed on March 25th of 2025 and April 3rd of 2025 pertain to lines of credit and buyer's credit loan agreements totaling approximately $930.8 million.
At the 2025 UN Peacekeeping Ministerial in Berlin, Sri Lanka reaffirmed its commitment to advancing global peace and security through principled, accountable engagement.
Sri Lanka commends the United Nations for its valiant efforts to maintain global peace and security despite the rise of asymmetric threats and an increasingly exigent operational landscape. As a peace-loving nation, Sri Lanka, under the leadership of the new government, reaffirms our unwavering commitment to maintain global peace and security. Today, our efforts are further strengthened by renewed national vision and a series of reforms to enhance professionalism and accountability in all aspects of governance, including the defense sector. Mr. Chair, Sri Lanka believes that the protection of civilians remains a cornerstone of UN peacekeeping. This vital mandate requires more robust and responsive peacekeeping strategies given the growing complexities on the ground. The rapid pace of technological advancement has paved the way for new and more sophisticated threats, further complicating the operational environment. Hence, peacekeeping operations must become more adaptive and resilient to ensure the effective protection of civilians. Sri Lanka seeks new partnerships and opportunities to collaborate with the United Nations, member states, and regional organizations to strengthen collective capabilities and contribute meaningfully to peacekeeping efforts. We remain committed to empowering women in peacekeeping in line with the new government's policy of extending the retirement age in the military service and by encouraging more women in leadership roles. Sri Lanka reaffirms its pledge to uphold the highest standards of conduct and discipline in all its peacekeeping operations. Our peacekeepers are guided by the values of professionalism, integrity, and respect, serving with honor under the United Nations flag. Mr. Chair, the new government is committed to contributing more meaningfully to global peace and security. Sri Lanka is ready to take on greater responsibilities in support of the United Nations peacekeeping and peace-building efforts. We therefore call for the United Nations to consider Sri Lanka as a trusted and capable partner in advancing the shared objective of effective, responsive, and resilient peacekeeping.
A high-level international conference focusing on maritime security commenced in Colombo today.
The conference, titled Maritime Security of Small, Middle and Island Nations Between Competition, Cooperation and Coexistence, commenced today in Colombo. The inaugural session was held this morning with welcome remarks by Colonel Nalin Herath, Acting Director General of Institute of National Security Studies.
Considering the strategic location of Sri Lanka, I think it is very pertinent to discuss this matter because Sri Lanka is having a very large area of sea, which is highly challenging task to doing the surveillance and ensuring the security of the maritime domain. And when it's a challenging task when the country is undergoing a very economic crisis. So Sri Lanka is just trying to picking up and just trying to recover from the economic crisis. So amidst the economic crisis, I think it's a very challenging task, especially a country like Sri Lanka.
The ocean is more than a waterway. It is our economy, our culture, our security, and our future. The Indo-Pacific region is home to some of the world's busiest shipping lanes. It is also a region where tensions are growing as geopolitical competition, resource availability, and security rivalries are increasingly shaping the maritime. For small states, these shifts bring both risk and responsibilities. We are often located along key sea lanes and choke points, giving us an outsized role to perform, especially in maritime safety and security.
The conference continues tomorrow with more discussions aimed at enhancing regional maritime cooperation and ensuring peaceful coexistence in the Indo-Pacific.
London Grill at Cinnamon Grand Colombo celebrates 50 remarkable years, welcoming a global culinary star to mark the occasion.
A media briefing took place yesterday to celebrate the 50th anniversary of London Grill, a true icon fine dining in Sri Lanka. The culinary host of the Netflix show Eating In, Chef Philip Davenport, arrived in Colombo to celebrate this.
I'm not really in the fine dining world anymore, so to come to Cinnamon Grand and London Grill to do 2 weeks of my worldly experience in cuisine, French background, but also Southeast Asian flavours this week with wine pairing, it's more exciting to me than sometimes my consulting, because I get to showcase and show different countries, different cities, incredible knowledge of food.
The celebration reflected the pride of a constant culinary tradition in Sri Lanka.
The renowned Forbes magazine has included the names of 3 Sri Lankans among the 30 most influential young entrepreneurs in Asia.
We end tonight's news bulletin with this uplifting headline. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Happy Headlines. Charikten Silva, known for videos showing him preparing dishes in outdoor settings, launched the YouTube channel Wild Cookbook in 2020 during the pandemic. With over 600 videos, Wild Cookbook is now Sri Lanka's largest YouTube channel with over 10 million subscribers, and Silva has over 2.3 million Instagram followers. He was selected in the Art and Style, Food and Drink category. Nikin Matrarachi, in 2021, founded Sri Lanka-based Synapse AI Labs, the company behind Common Poll, an AI-powered social listening tool. Common Poll provides businesses marketing insights by analyzing keyword performance across multiple online platforms, including news sites, blogs and social media. He was selected in the social media, marketing and advertising category. Yanika Amrasekara, a UC Berkeley and Imperial College London alumna, founded Silver Isle, Sri Lanka's first online wedding registry, in 2019. The e-commerce platform has since expanded beyond wedding gifts to include presents for all occasions, as well as dining, vacation packages and lessons in horse riding, golf and pottery, among others. She was selected in the retail and e-commerce category.